Miss Rebels here, your friendly neighborhood art teacher. Welcome back to another virtual learning video with Miss Rebels. Just want to let you guys know that I miss you so much. I cannot wait to get back in the art room so that I can see your beautiful, glorious faces and see those concentration and creativity muscles just going at it. Today we're going to create a really awesome piece of art. Gather your materials. Make sure to write your name and your class code on the back so that when we come back together I can see and organize who's who. Alright? Gather your materials, turn on your creativity caps, and let's get creating. Today we're going to make a piece of art that has some meaning to us. We're going through a really weird time in the world, and it's a lot of uncertainty and maybe some uneasy feelings, so we're going to use art as an outlet to kind of work through that and express kind of what we're feeling, so that once we come out on the other side of this we can look back and be like, you know what, it really wasn't that bad. So you're going to need the materials that are in front of me. You do not have to have oil pastels. If you don't have oil pastels, it's fine. You can use crayons, and you can use any water-based paint. Watercolors are going to work the best to make this type of watercolor resist. You're also going to need a paintbrush and a, what is this called? A pencil. So you're going to need some type of wax or oil-based crayon or oil pastel, and some type of watercolor. You could also use tempera paint if you have tempera paint. So let's get started. I totally forgot, you're also going to need a black Sharpie or a black permanent marker. So you're going to start this by just kind of drawing some wavy lines that come across. Some of you guys may have done a project like this before in art, but we're going to revisit this because I think it's worthy. And I think it's something that could be really cool to hang on to when we look back. So you're going to work all the way down and fit in about 4 lines. Note that I am drawing with my hand under a tripod, so my hand is like, it's a struggle over here, okay? Struggle lesson. Alright, now that you've got your lines drawn, we're going to start thinking and brainstorming about some words that we can use to describe ourselves during this time. So think about how you've been feeling, maybe what you've been doing, what you've been having, what's been going on in your life now that we've been out of school. And you're gonna start your kind of a poem almost with the words I am, and then you're gonna follow those words with a short adjective here, because you're going to have I am, and then something here, and then you're going to fill in 1, 2, 3 longer adjectives, and then the final box is going to be your name. And you're not going to write T tiny in the middle up here, right? You're going to make your letters start at the top of the page, or the little the space here, start at the top and go all the way down to the bottom. You can do this in pencil. I'm just starting in Sharpie because, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. So I, and then your next letter is going to go up to the top. You can write in all caps. You can write in lowercase. I'm going to write some in caps, some in lowercase, because that's just my natural handwriting. And now to make my A, my tail of my A is going to come all the way down till it reaches the bottom of this curve. Okay, because your letters are going to go up, and the top of your letter is going to touch the top, and the bottom of your letter is going to hit the bottom. So I am going to make my letters a little bit more thick. This is how you're going to start. Now, your first adjective is going to go right here. So brainstorm out, maybe on a scrap sheet of paper, and think about some adjectives you could use to describe yourself during this time. It could be anything that you're thinking, you're feeling. They don't have to be positive adjectives. If you're feeling a little bit worried, or you know, unsure. You could use those adjectives to describe, you know, kind of what you're feeling. So I'm just going to work through and start writing in my adjectives. Just remember when you're working on your own piece that your letters start at the top of whatever space you're working at, and it goes all the way to the bottom. No matter how kind of weird and funky it makes your letters look, it's for a purpose, I promise. Alright, once you've brainstormed your words and you know what you're going to do, here's my brainstorm. So I chose the words busy, creative, flexible, and thankful. So I'm busy. I don't know about you guys, but online school is a lot more work than when we're actually in school together, having to keep up with emails and online conference calls and meetings and all that. Miss Revels is a busy. I'm also being very creative during this time, having to come up with lessons like this that everyone can do regardless of what kind of materials you have. I'm also able to do a little bit more of my own artwork during this time, so I've been very creative. I've been very flexible, and I think we all have been very flexible during this time, just giving ourselves a lot of grace about what's been going on and just allowing ourselves the ability to learn during this distance learning situation. I think everyone's been very flexible, and I'm also very thankful. I've been very fortunate to spend some really quality time with my son during this time, and I hope you guys have been able to spend a lot of time with your families as well. So my 4 adjectives are busy, creative, flexible, and thankful. And then your final spot, the final, what is the word? Shape. Shapes are things. The final shape is going to be your name. So this is what potentially my piece will look like. I'm going to go ahead and write my poem into all my shapes, and I'm just going to speed through that, so I'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, once you get to this point and all of your words are written in, you've outlined them so that they're a little bit more easy to read, a little bit more legible in your black Sharpie, this is what you're going to do for day 1. So if you think back to when we were in the art room, we would never spend only one day on a piece of art. It would usually take us 3, 4, sometimes 5 days to work on one piece of artwork because good art takes time. Friday, May 1st, this is your assignment, is to just do the black and white, to write your little poem and to go over your letters. Once you get to this point, this should only take you about 20 minutes or so, which is what our lessons are supposed to be like online. So May 1st, this is what your artwork should look like. Next week, May 8th, is when we're going to color this. So I'm only going to show this piece for part 1, and then next week, May 8th, I'll show you the video on how we are going to finish this with color. Alright guys, we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Keep on creating. Keep sending me pictures to my email address of your artwork that you've been working on, whether it's this or just other artwork that you've been making while you're at home. I love, love, love to see what you guys have been making at home. Have a good one. We'll see you later, peeps.